This is Dave Brixius.
This is Joe Cleasy.
And we're here with the program, second edition. And we're talking about the CFA. What a great weekend it was this past weekend. I was very fortunate enough to get out to see a fantastic game, and I'll get into that in a little bit. One of the things I did see, a little disappointing though, you know, standing on the sidelines, watching these kids work hard, play hard, and all that kind of stuff. Some of the parents, man, you guys got to calm down. You know, just going off, yelling at the kids. Kids are 12, 11, 10, 9 years old. You know what I mean? They're young kids. They're going to make mistakes. The refs are going to make mistakes. You know what I mean? You guys take away from the fun of it from people who just want to come and watch. I mean, I just like going to watch the kids play. I don't have anybody on any team. And you guys going off and saying this about a kid, saying that about a kid. Come on, 12 years old. Let him go. Let him play the game. Let him have a good time. That's what it's about. It's not about you. It's not about going to try to hurt somebody. I'm all about winning. First guy will say it. I love to win more than anything. I hate losing. But let's make sure we do it the right way. All right?
Right, because you know, the kids are out there trying their hardest anyway. And the last thing they need is, you know, a parent or a fan just steady chirping at them, harping on them. You know, they're trying to concentrate while they're playing the game. As you said, let's let them be, let it go. It's just a game. Let them have fun, and everybody be happy.
That's all we need to do. All right, well, we'll get off that soapbox now. All right, we're getting back into it, all right? So, listen, I got some great feedback from the coaches, reps. I greatly appreciate it. Everybody else who hasn't sent stuff in, send it in. Get it in. We got a couple write-ups and stuff like that we're going to talk about from some of the games. If you're willing to put the time in, take 5, 10, 15 minutes, we're willing to talk about it. I mean, that's what we're here for. We want to promote. We want to help these kids. We want to help this organization continue to grow, and we know it's the best in the state, maybe the best in the nation, the way it's run. So, first game I got information from was the Paxton Harrisburg Broncos. From what I understand, at least watching, looking at the scores and stuff like that, reading over everything, man, some great games. Paxton's back, man. Going down to their Pee-wee game, Paxton 7, the Broncos 6. Apparently it was a great game. Definitely a defensive struggle right there, which I love to see. Two teams playing hard, and it just came down to one team converted on the extra point, and the other team didn't. I mean, that's how close these games are nowadays, you know what I mean? Some teams go for that one, or some teams go for that two, and that can make all the difference. The Broncos getting back at him in the pony game, though, taking it to him 12-0, but from what I understand, it was pretty evenly matched the whole way through. Just some turnovers by Paxton led to some Broncos points, and that was the difference there, 12-0. But getting to the midget game, I mean, here's a team, the Broncos, they played last year. They went undefeated during the regular season all the way up to that championship game, so they played Lingelstown. And here, the first game of the season, Paxton got them. 2019, Harrisburg was up 19-7 at one point, and chipping away, you know. Paxton got back into it and doing what they needed to do and scored, tying the game up with 21 seconds left. Could you imagine that game? Could you imagine that sideline going nuts?
And where was it at?
That's, I think it was at Paxton. So, I mean, wow. And then going for the 2-point conversion, everything like that. Or, I'm sorry, for the 1-point conversion, getting it going and on the win 20-19.
You know, and I give the Paxton organization a lot of credit because they switched places in order to play up in the upper division. The talents, you know, the Harrisburgs, the Packers, the Broncos, you know, Cedar, not Cedar Cliff, Central Dolphin.
Yep.
And you know what? Their midget team came out with the win this week.
Yeah, I mean, but just looking at the scores across the board this week, there must have been some fantastic games. I mean, these things were close, some coming down to the wire, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's what you like to see, you know, when you're going out there and watching them like I like to do, you know, not having one team that I'm affiliated with or anything, but just seeing these kids play, going as hard as they can. You've seen these, it come down to that. You hate to see a team lose. Everybody always says that, but hey, there are winners and losers in life. That's life, and it's a great, valuable lesson that we learn with, you know, playing football. But it had to be a great thing.
And, you know, and these close games show there's not too much of a talent gap with some of these teams. You know, defensive stop here and there is the difference in some of these games.
Yeah, huge.
You know, you got to make sure you don't make a lot of mistakes during these games. Or, you know,
come back and bite you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Someone else sent us in information about Mechanicsburg and Seven Sorrows. The Pee-wee game, the Mechanicsburg Wildcats won 25-0. Powered by some big plays. Yeah. Also in the pony game, they also dominated that one, Mechanicsburg, beating Seven Sorrows 26-0. They had 4 different players score a touchdown, so
nice balance.
Kudos to those 4 players for Mechanicsburg. And at the midget level, the biggest level, that actually was a close game.
Yeah.
A hard-fought 14-6 victory over Seven Sorrows once again. So the difference was a huge fourth down conversion late in the third quarter inside the Seven Sorrows 10-yard line that ended up being the game-winning touchdown a couple plays later. So congrats to Mechanicsburg, the sweep over Seven Sorrows last week.
Yeah, and you know, you look back, and we got to watch Seven Sorrows playing that championship game last year. And they gave Susquehanna Township, who hadn't been scored on, hadn't lost all year in that up to that championship game, a run for their money. It was a great game and stuff. So you know Mechanicsburg has to be riding high after beating a very good, probably Seven Sorrows team. Maybe not quite as sound as last year, but still very, very good. They work hard. Their coaching staff down there is amazing. Well coached. I mean, the midget level, I know him well. Definitely does a fantastic job down there. Bob, he definitely gets those kids up. So for them to come out with a win is definitely well deserved by the Mechanicsburg squad.
Great way to start the season. Great
way. The game I got out to, going to the defending midget champions, used to be Linglestown, changed the name to Cedar, Central Dolphin this year, played Swadera. And I'll tell you what, watching Central Dolphin this year, both the ponies and the midgets I got to see, it's going to be an interesting year for them because these guys play sound, fundamental, hard football. There's no flash. Yeah, they got some decent athletes. I'm not going to even say decent. They got some very good athletes. But there's, the whole team isn't like just studs everywhere. But they just play sound, well-disciplined football. And that's what it was last year. Watching them play in that championship game, I really believe that Harrisburg had the better athletes, all that kind of stuff. But they just play sound, fundamental football. And it showed. I mean, they went on, the ponies won 22-6. Just played a great game up and down the field. The midget team, wow, I'm telling you what, that's going to be a tough out for anybody this year to try to beat this team. They got studs at every position, just a well-rounded team. They won 30-0. Now, not taking anything away from Swadera, let me tell you, Swadera, they got some great athletes too. It seemed like Linglestown went right down the field on the opening series, got the touchdown, went in. Swadera came right back. One or two just plays that just didn't go their way just changed the fortune of that game because they went right down the field. They were like the 5 or 7 yard line or something like that, and they were ready to go on and score. And just a couple plays just didn't work out for them. Didn't score it in. It seemed like their heads went down. But I'll tell you what, their running back. Their quarterback, very, very good runner. Got out of a lot of different situations. They might have the tallest dude in the whole league. I think there was a guy at least 6'4", 6'5" on their team. Yeah, he came out. I'm like, dude. When all the players were standing up, he was bent over. He was still taller than everybody. This kid, honestly, if he continues to improve, and I wish I knew your name, so I apologize, but if he continues to improve and develop, this kid could be a stud. Because he's big, he's gangly right now, so he really looks like he hasn't grown into his body. But he's all with 6'4", 6'5". When he came out, I stepped down the field, I'm like, what the? I thought the kid was at the wrong place, but Swadera is going to be a very, very good team too. When they put it all together, and they get all their stuff together, because they have some great athletes there. They're going to be tough out. But just going back to that Central Dolphin team, very, very disciplined that they play. They just played hard and very disciplined. Very, very great game. Honestly, I like watching them play. I like watching teams do that.
So they'll be pretty tough to beat this year?
I think, yeah. I haven't seen everybody yet. I know I'm going to be getting out here and stuff like that. But they're definitely going to be a team that you have to watch out for, because just the way they play, the coaching staff, their organization is well run. From top to bottom, they know what to do. They know how to do it. The coaching staff at the midget level is top notch. Just like I said about Seven Stars, they're top notch. They know how to get things done. So it's going to be interesting to see who can beat them this year. And if they do, it's probably going to be a well-deserved win for that other team.
All right. Well, I didn't get to any games this week, but I did get to take a look at some footage from East Pennsboro, St. Joseph Chargers, and I had to mention this at the midget level. East Pennsboro has a running back named Mike Jones. He was probably either the best or maybe the second best or 1A player.
Okay.
In the national conference.
Yeah, I think.
Last year, probably could have won MVP easily, but he was definitely, right now, he's probably one of the best midget players in all 3 divisions.
Wow.
He had 2 touchdown runs and an interception last week, so he's definitely a stud, and I just wanted to give him a shout out. He had a very impressive performance.
That's awesome.
I think he's continuing the tear he was. He was on from last year. And East Pennsboro might be, not even might, they're probably a surprise team, might be a dark horse team. You know, to win the all this year at the midget level, they have nice good number of players, some nice size, and probably the best running back in the league, at least the top 2 or top 3 in the national conference. So
wow.
I don't even think that's a stretch to even say that.
That's awesome.
Play.
That's awesome.
So kudos to Mike Jones from East Pennsboro Midgets.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just recapping last week, I mean, I could go through all the games, we'd be here forever. I know you guys can go look up the scores on the CFA website. But just looking back, I was told the Pony, Holy Name, they played the Packers there over at Harrisburg and came down. The Pony kicker, Bryce Connor, I know, got the extra point. You should know is if you kick, you get 2 points. And at the CFA, if you're running in, it's 1. And that turned out to be the difference. They went on to win. I think it was 13 or 14-13 or something. It's like a 1-point game. They went on to win, and that was the difference in the game. You know what I mean? 14-13 was the final. So there you go. They're kicking the 2 points. They get the W.
That's a big advantage.
And going to the midget game, little surprised. I really thought Holy Name, and like I know it's early in the season, but ended up losing to the Packers 14-12. So I think the Packers are back. I know they struggled a little bit last year, but I think they're back. I think Holy Name, I definitely think they could be great. From what I understand, what I was heard, that they were going in late. They were in the red zone late in the game. They just didn't punch it in. Ran out of time.
Another good one is another good game is Cedar Cliff and Stilton. I'm sorry, not good game, but good matchup at all levels.
Yes.
Stilton and Cedar Cliff now. I'm not sure if Stilton has a midget team.
No, they don't. Nope. Yeah, so they're not. The Cedar Cliff doesn't have to worry about that.
I think at the pony level,
yep.
It should be a pretty good matchup. I saw some of the Pee Wee kids that moved up to the ponies. For Stilton, they have a good number of athletes that can probably play 8 teams, so we'll find out.
Yeah, they beat up on Good Shepherd this week. Stilton did, and Susquehanna. I'm sorry, Cedar Cliff. Definitely going to have a good squad. They went to Susquehanna this weekend. A team, especially the midget level, didn't give up a point last year about the regular season, all the way up to the championship game till 7 stars scored on them 3 touchdowns, and they went in there and beat them. So they have a great program, another great organization that's run just like most of these organizations out there, and that's why I always go back and say this is the best conference around. I mean, just from the top down, from Joe all the way down, through all the reps and everybody who works in this, all the dedication, the time they put into this organization. I mean, you and I have been in meetings, and we see how many people show up, how many people dedicate their times, all the stuff that goes on. I mean, these guys go all out, and this is an organization that will continue to thrive, and I can see it growing. I mean, if they allow it to grow, but I can see a lot more teams in this area wanting to get in because of how well it's run and how well people in the community really get involved.
Right, and how often do you see a league that actually puts up scores on a website on a weekly basis, the records? I mean, this stuff is phenomenal that we get the reference.
Yeah, and I mean, even the coaches who take time, and like I said, we appreciate it from Paxton, from Middletown, you guys, from Central Dolphin, who all sent me information about the games and all that kind of stuff. We appreciate it. We want everybody. So everybody get on the high horse, bring us, your information. Yep. We'll get, if you send it to us, we will put it out. We'll go through it. We'll make sure. If you're going to take time, like I said at the beginning, we will make sure that we put you on and get these kids out. If you have a kid that was an outstanding stud that day, say one of your kids ran for 5 touchdowns, let us know. We'll put his name out there too. Yep. We'll give him some recognition. Why not? You know what I mean? Let's do this. Send it to me. You guys all have my information. Let's get it out there. Let's get these kids, some recognition. But let's do it for the kids. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. That's why I like this organization, because it's always done for the right reasons.
And also, starting this week, once we get the write-ups and everything, you can see this information, highlights, pictures, put up on preps.com.
Yep, preps.com.
It'll be for the youth preps.
Yep.
It's mostly CFA stuff on there, so be on the lookout for that. We're also on Twitter as well.
We're on Twitter. Facebook, my Facebook, Explosive Sports Performance. I was at the game. I took pictures of Central Dolphin SWAT Air. You guys can go check those out. When we get out, Joe and I usually take video cameras, whatever, and we're always trying to take pictures. I know there's other people out there I give shout outs to who don't have any kids in the organization or any organization. They're out there taking pictures. I see them all the time. We can mention their names later on and stuff once I get them all, but they do a fantastic job too. So go out there and support them, because they're coming out to support you guys, to take pictures, to highlight you guys. They do the same exact thing because they do it because they care and they want to see this league and organization really succeed. But you guys, thanks. all the teams that won out there, awesome job. Continue that. Continue to work hard. All the teams that didn't, all right, it's only week 1, early in the season. Now your time's to make it up and get back out there and do what you got to do. Make sure you get out there and unleash that potential this week in week 2.
All right, and make sure to check us out next week. And again, take a look at preps.com for any updates, highlights, videos, all that good stuff. So I'm Joe Cleasy.
Dave Bricks is here. Make sure you guys continue to watch the program.